Welcome to TRS Clips, where you'll find happiness through your own curiosity. Keeping the 2003 World Cup team in mind, I am assuming that Ganguly had a key role in setting the tone for the environment because he was the captain.
Yes.
So, a couple of questions. One, what did he do in that team? Because it is considered a legendary team. And the second question is, who were the other leaders in that dressing room and what did they bring?
Yeah. That was the 2003 World Cup team was really special because you had the senior players of Dravid, you had Virendra Sehwag, you had Sachin Tendulkar, you had Jawaharlal Srinath, and you had Sourav Ganguly. These were really the stalwarts, and Anil Kumble was there as well. But even Anil Kumble didn't play all the games. Then you had the youngsters. You had Mohammad Kaif, you had Yuvraj Singh, you had Harbhajan Singh, all of that. Why it was special and what makes Ganguly a truly special leader was that he gave all of the youngsters absolute confidence. He made the environment super comfortable and he gave them confidence. He gave them belief that they actually belong here. Now, this is the thing that you need to know about a World Cup. A World Cup statistically has shown us that the team with the most experience will go on to win. But in any World Cup, the senior players lay the foundation. It's the junior players who bring the win. It's always the senior players who lay the foundation for what's needed. It's the junior players who, if they put their hand up, you'll win. And you see this in every single World Cup that's ever happened. The senior players are always there doing what they expected to do within 10% of that. But every time something special comes in from a youngster, you sort of win it. Ganguly was brilliant at that. He created this beautiful canvas for the juniors to just be themselves, express themselves, and play with absolute freedom. This was what it is. I'll tell you a really interesting story. My relationship with him changed in one particular game. The game where India played Pakistan at Centurion. We go to the ground, it's a day game. And I know South African conditions really well. And I'm having a conversation with him and I'm telling him, we need to bowl first. Let's chase. He's like, no, we have to bat first. We have to put the runs on the table and put Pakistan under pressure. And I was really nervous because I know Centurion wicket gets better as you bat. I went to John Wright. I said, John Wright, you have to change his mind. I went to Sachin Tendulkar. I said, you have to change his mind. I went to Virendra Sehwag. I said, you have to change his mind. I went to Anil Kumble. I said, you have to change his mind, who may not even have been playing in that game. Sourav Ganguly was headstrong. We're going to win the toss and we're going to bat and we're going to put the runs on the board. By the grace of God, we lost the toss and Pakistan elected to bat. They made about 275. I'll never forget that. I'm sitting right in the front of the locker room on the top at Centurion and I can see him coming like a beeline straight to me. He came straight up the stairs, came to me. He says, I told you they'd bat first. And I froze, but in that moment of freezing, I said, we'll win with 2 overs to spare. I don't know what made I was literally petrified. I was shaking. And I just said that. I'll win with 2 overs to spare. Right. I wasn't thinking, I don't know what happened. And that's exactly what happened. The wicket got better and we won with 2 overs to spare. Sehwag and Tendulkar opened the batting with what was a masterclass in how to open. You know, he scored 98, I think, in that game. And we had an over 100-run opening partnership. Set the foundation, beautiful batting track. And he walked up to me and he said, thank you very much. And that changed the relationship. Every time I said something, was there to listen. This story is really important because, you know, it's what we spoke of earlier. The courage for a person who is very, very fearful to just express themselves, to try, to say something, to do something different. We saw that with Yuvraj when they won the T20 World Cup when he hit 6 sixes. We saw that with Zaid Khan in that World Cup trying to do something different with the ball. Courage is what's really important. It's not going to feel easy at that moment, but if you do it, you know, the whole world sort of opens up to you. When we talk of Ganguly as a captain in that time, he gave everyone a ear. He listened to every single person. He walked around the room. He spoke. He listened to everyone. He created that environment for everyone to just be who they were. And that was probably one of the most unified teams I've ever seen or I've ever worked in.
What about the other leaders in the dressing room?
The other leaders all played a vital role. You know, Sehwag Sehwag was very, very quiet, very, very reserved. Sehwag was the type of person who, if you were next to him, you felt his energy. Anil Kumble took the spinners under his wing. He took Harbhajan under his wing. They practiced together. They spoke together. They ate together. The young batters, Mohammad Kaif, Yuvraj Singh, you could see them sticking together. They would Dada would call them aside. We'd spend a lot of time with them. Each one, we had micro captains. Mohammad Kaif was our fielding captain. So this was another brilliant thing that John Wright did. John Wright, we knew we had a senior captain in Ganguly, but we created captains for each department who were juniors who were forced to speak. So we had Zaid Khan, who was a junior, who was leading the bowling attack. He was captaining Srinath. Then you had Yuvraj Singh captaining the batting unit, right? Giving him the courage to speak and tell the batters how to do it. And then you had Mohammad Kaif leading the fielding unit, and you had Harbhajan leading the spinners. So what he did was he created micro-captain roles within an ecosystem that forced them to speak, forced them to bring their personality and their voice to the front, as opposed to leading from the shadows. Because if you leave a youngster, he'll migrate into the shadows. You don't want that. This was the genius of John Wright and Ganguly in terms of how we brought that team together.
What is the outcome of actually involving everyone in the team?
Belonging is the critical thing in a locker room. And the fastest way to create belonging is to create equal talking time. Remember, in a locker room, there's always this hierarchy. It's not spoken about, but it is. Senior players are the ones who are expected to speak. They sit in the first positions. They do all of that. And juniors are always the ones listening. But like I said, it's the juniors who have to rise up to actually push that win over and to bring that title home. Now, they're only going to be able to do that if they're able to feel comfortable and they're able to express themselves. That is a byproduct of belonging. Belonging is the first step to psychological safety. And the locker room is the epitome of psychological safety. So the fastest way to create safety is to create equal talking time. Give people the opportunity to speak. And personality-wise, in any locker room you go, you'll find the newbies and the introverts will migrate towards the walls or towards the back of the room. They'll become quieter and quieter as tournaments go on. It's leadership. It's the psychological leadership that we use to bring these people to the forefront. So if you want to get someone to truly express themselves, you bring them to where the spotlight is, or you bring them to the front of the room. Their focus goes up, their alertness goes up, and they probably speak a lot more.
Why is it that the juniors need to perform for you to win a tournament though?
Because generally they bring that something a little extra, something a little special to it. A senior player knows what expected of him, and everyone is planning for that. All of the opponents have already factored in that he's going to score this much runs, he's going to do this, he's going to bowl so many overs at this much runs. What they've not factored in is that extra special thing that a youngster would bring in. Someone who's hungry. And you see this even in IPL. Isn't every single IPL, you get some junior who comes in, lights it up, right? And he goes, And it's that player who lights it up when Shubham Gill did it, or Jaiswal did it, or KL Rao did it for Kings 11. Then that team's having a really special IPL that year. So when the junior lights it up, it's an X factor and it's unexpected. When it's unexpected, it catches everyone by surprise.
Hey, if you enjoyed today's clip, make sure you check out all the other clips we've uploaded on this channel. You'll find a clip related to almost every single topic as long as you're willing to search for it.